Welcome back, YouTube. Today we are playing PioFiore. We are continuing our blind playthrough of Gilbert Redford's route. This man has stolen my heart already. You can watch me play live at twitch.tv/Pinker NeonNova. Enjoy the video. And as always, we have our love interest tracker on the bottom. We're playing Gil's route this week, we're into Gil's route here. And as you see on the bottom, we have him highlighted. And our first playthrough, we're doing him blindly, per usual. We'll see what ending we get. And then after we get that, we'll go back and get all the endings for him. Yeah. And then after we finish Gil, we'll go and do all the side routes for everyone. Like the after ending stories for everyone for the good endings, and the after ending stories for everyone on the bad endings. Yeah. You are going to hear me drink some coffee here tonight, because even though I had a busy day, I didn't finish a lot of my daily coffees, because I had a busy day. So, just some warm coffee tonight, too. Also, it's that time of day. What you doing, my little munchkin? Hey, stop that. I promise I'm going into the game. Okay, let's go. Load. Do I have a voice picked out for Gil yet? Nope. Hey, what the hell's going on here? What's this about a thief? Sure, that's it. Oh, he took my wallet, so... How much was in it? I'll buy the wallet from you. Gilbert nodded to his subordinate to take that action. Will 5 lyra do, Gil? Make it 10. Understood. Here you go. This much? Thank you. Thank you, senor. Gilbert looked around and smiled at the bystanders. Sorry for the ruckus, folks. I hope it didn't ruin your appetite. I like him. Look at him. He's so charming. Before he finished speaking, his subordinates went around, passing out money to everyone. Are you sure? Yeah. Need to cleanse the palate, right? Take it. Consider it my apology for the disruption. He's so handsome and generous. We love him. Is it going to be exciting to maybe not get murdered by one of my love interests? Yeah, that's exciting. Thank you. That's the Visconti I know. The attention began to center around his subordinates as they distributed the money. I saw Gilbert making his way through the crowd towards me. What a commotion, huh? If you got any problems, feel free to let the Visconti know. Okay. I'll bring by a donation to the church later. What kind of donation? Are you going to make a deposit? God damn it. Okay. Let's not. 12 minutes. Okay. Why, thank you very much, Senor Redford. Ah, that voice. You were the one who stood up to them, eh? Yeah, I did. Be proud of me. Don't be too brash, though. Taking care of problems is our business. Hey, kid. Next time, don't get caught. Oh, I love him so much. Gilbert extended his hand out to the young child sitting on the ground. But then... Shut it. It's none of your business. Oh, I love Luca. He's so cute. Why, you little... It's fine. But Gil, I said it's fine. You're fine. I have a problem. Gilbert let out a smile as the child ran away. That kid has balls to speak out like that. True Visconti material right there. Oh, he's gonna take your job one day. What you doing, baby? Gilbert Redford, of the Visconti family. I guess you need to have what it takes to be a boss like him. The provisioning went on, and by dusk we were finished with our duties. What a day! I quickly finished my meal and headed back to my room. Despite being tired, I made sure to say my nightly prayer of gratitude. With all of my chores done, I slipped into bed. Good night. We just forgot we had a date, apparently. I closed my eyes and quickly drifted off to sleep. What's that? How long was I asleep? The sweet smell of sandalwood tickled my nose. I slowly opened my eyes. Don't move. It's Yang. Who is he? What is he doing here? My thoughts felt muddled. Under crimson hair shining in the moonlight, I could only make out sharp, narrow eyes. I felt the creeping edge of a blade graze my neck. What? In an instant, I suddenly comprehended what was happening. Fear came over me. I'm getting kidnapped. I'll kill you if you move even a muscle. You will follow my orders. You hear? Yes, sir. If you don't, I will kill everyone here. The women, the children, everyone. Okay. What? What in the world is he saying? He's saying he's gonna murder everyone. Engage. The coldness of his voice convinced me that this was no ordinary threat. The moonlight reflected off his eyes. The moonlight reflecting off of his eyes revealed the madness within. Smart girl. Clever girl. I don't normally mind stupidity in women, but a spark of intelligence is welcome tonight. You hate stupid women. I know because I played your route. You killed me so many times for being dumb. Ah! Without any trace of worry, he carried me on his back and took me from my room. What are you doing, Yang? Oh, it's Dante. Dante Falzone. What is he doing here? I couldn't believe anything that was happening. Wait, did he just say Yang? There was a very famous person in Berlin with that name. Oh, not bad, Falzone. You've been doing your homework. The boys are fighting. The boys are fighting. Under our pact, the mafia families here aren't to intrude on one another's territory. And yet, here you are, trying to abduct her from holy ground under cover of darkness. Yang didn't so much as flinch, even at Nicola's stern voice. I broke the unspoken pact. I must be a terrible person indeed. You are. Okay, 3 of my 5 boys are gathered in the same room. Where's 4th and 5th? Now the Falzone has the right to try and get rid of me by force. I'm sure the Visconti wouldn't mind seeing you folks go wild in Arca. I should say so. If so, why don't we have some fun? I wouldn't mind seeing how I'd fare. Despite the dark, I could tell Dante Falzone wasn't pleased with what he was hearing. Yang looked at Dante, then laughed. Oh, I pity her misfortune. I'm sure she won't be able to keep up with our fun. What? I know they're talking about fighting, but it does not sound like they are. You are aware of our code of honor, not taking the lives of those uninvolved. Let her go, Yang. I can't do it as good as the voice actor. Coffee. Yang's body was shaking from trying to hold back his laughter. Come now, Falzone. Do you mean to say she's not involved? How wrong can you be? She's involved. In fact, quite involved with your family. Huh? I have nothing to do with the Falzone family. Falzone and Francesca, seeing both of you here makes it easy to come to a conclusion. She is very important to your family. So what? So I will take with... Bang bang. Dante fired his gun before Yang could finish. Oh, I love his laugh. Yang knew it was coming. Still carrying me, he jumped away to avoid the bullets. Dante, that was dangerous. Do you think I'd miss my mark? Hurry.
Hi!
Hoi. Okay. Nicola whistled and the church doors slammed open. Their men, waiting outside, began to storm the church. Fire at will. Kill any Laoshu you meet. But do not fire at the girl Yang is carrying. Once again, not the girl. Got it? Understood. Oh, look! My boy's here, Leo! Oh, I love his laugh. Yang dodged the bullets with a bright smile on his face. What is going on here? I had a hard time breathing with the action around me and the blade still to my throat. My mind couldn't come up with any reason as to why this was happening to me. As I felt death slowly inching near, Yang lost his grip on me and I fell to the floor. Someone came from above? Why you? There's my fourth boy. Where is the fifth one? Ooh. Huh? The darkness of the night made it seem as if the young man vanished. I heard sounds of blades clashing. It was then that it dawned on me that he was moving faster than my eyes could follow. Ah! The clash continued when the young man swooped down and picked me up. I have no time to explain. But I need you to trust me. I won't hurt you. I promise. He mumbled to me, then ran out of the church with me in his arms. I just swooped in like to take me away from all this. What a spectacular show this is. After him. Don't let him go. Can you walk? Can someone tell me what's going on first? Yes. After seeing that I could stand, he spoke to me with a stern look on his face. Run away from here. Now. Run? Where? Anywhere. Find a place to hide. But if I had the choice, I'd rather be with you. But if I don't stop them here, you'll lose your chance to escape. I can't face them and cover you at the same time. So please hurry. If nothing else, I understood what I needed to do now was run. I'm sorry. I began running as fast as I could. What in the world was going on? For some reason, Yang was after me. My very existence there would have made matters worse for the young man. I need to run. I kept my legs moving to take me as far away from the church as possible. Without even knowing it, I realized I had avoided Falce and Veleno on instinct. Soon, I found myself in Creta. Huff, huff. I felt a sharp pain in my chest, but I had to run. I needed to keep moving. I didn't hear anyone approaching from behind, but I wondered if that young man was really holding all of them back. Ah! Ooh. I'm so sorry. I wasn't paying attention. It's nothing to worry about. Although, it's the husband. Being beautiful. I finally realized what happened. I bumped into Gilbert. You're that girl from the church, right? What's with the hurrying this hour? Let's go for that. Well... He stared at me from top to bottom, obviously curious why I couldn't answer him. Also that I'm in my sleeping clothes, barefoot, running through Creta, when I live in Arca. Where are your shoes? Come to think of it. Yang came into my room when I was only wearing my nightgown. Embarrassed, I felt my cheeks flush. Come, follow me. Huh? If you got some time, how about a drink? 2 gang leaders are currently fighting in Arca over me, and an underboss and an assassin. Gilbert's just like, well, I'm gonna take the pretty church girl for a drink. I got moves. I was looking for someone to drink with. The bottle I just got is amazing. He's so good. I love him. But, Senor Redford, I'm... Now hold on there a second. Something is obviously the matter. First, let's settle down. Then, we can talk later. Don't worry. It'll be okay. His serious words were followed by his swiftly lifting me into his arms. Ooh, I'm swooning. He then took me back to the manor where he lived. So this is the Visconti Manor. He brought me inside and quickly went to fetch something warmer for me to put on. Then he handed me a shot of limoncello to warm me from the inside. A single sip brought freshness into my mouth. I could tell the gentle flavor of the liquor was calming me down. I began tracing back my memories to explain to him what had just happened. Let me confirm. Yang from the Lao Shu came to get me. Then Dante and Nicola appeared, starting a gunfight. Then some mysterious guy appeared to get you out of there. Did I get that right? Yes. Hearing someone else say what happened made it sound more like fiction than anything. I have no clue what's happening, but I guess the simple answer is that both the Lao Shu and Falzone are after you. Wait, you believe me? Of course. If this were a lie, you'd do a better job of making it sound real. See? He's not just a himbo, he's smart too. He's a smart himbo. He's pretty. And smart. He's the whole package. At the very least, you don't seem like the type to make stuff up like that. And above all else, He chuckled playfully and closed the eye that wasn't hidden by the eye patch. A ladies' man myself. You're flirting with me, my good sir. Why are you pouting? Kitty cat, why are you pouting? This is something I won't change, even if I had to fight the Falzone or the Lao Shu. I couldn't tell if he was serious or not. Seeing me raise a brow, he smiled. So what's your name? Pinker. Pinker NeonNova. Pink, eh? Why don't you stay here for a while? In your house? Here? In this manor? Yeah. You are being chased by the Falzone and the Lao Shu, right? If so, there's no better place to be in Verlone than here. They wouldn't dare lay a finger on my guest in the house of the Visconti. But, Senor, my being here is going to bring trouble to you. Maybe, but that's not all. You being here is also of interest to me. Oh, really? Hello, sir? Huh? They're not after your life. If that's were the case, you'd be dead the moment Yang got into your room. That means they need you alive, no matter what. That also means that you have value to them worth their protection, right? Really? Me? It was hard to believe, but it did seem to make some sense. If I play my cards right, I can gain the advantage over them. Of course, I promise you that I'll make it worth your while to stay here. Sir, I am but a humble church girl, pious as can be. What are you gonna do to me? It's a win-win situation, wouldn't you agree? You've got nothing to worry about. You'll be my honored guest, Pink. Senor Redford, stop flirting with me. It's not that I don't wish to be under the care of the Mafia, but if I leave here now, I could be dead before sunrise tomorrow. I looked straight into the Visconti's boss's face and spoke earnestly. Please help me, Senor. Please let me stay here. He smirked a bit, then spoke with a bold and gallant demeanor. I'll protect you, no matter what. Oh boy! Why? Why did I feel he'd be true to his words? 'Cause he's a man and the rest are boys. They'll play with your heart. This one won't. Yeehaw! I felt like he would protect me, like he could lead me out of the mysterious labyrinth I was in. Chapter 1. Let the good times roll. I forgot he has some great chapter titles. Alright. My cat is pouting, so I think she's hungry. So even though we just started like 30 minutes ago, I'm going to take a quick break and go feed her. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry, guys. Quick break. I'll be back. The goblin has been fed. And she's happy now. Ugh. Okay. Let's go. Stirring from sleep, I slowly awoke and noticed the unfamiliar room around me. It wasn't a dream. I accepted my reality and gave a small sigh. This place was part of the Boulogne Mafia. It was a manor owned by Gilbert Redford, the boss of the Visconti family. He told me that as long as I'm with the Visconti, I can use this room, but... Ugh. Sorry, I'm taking a vitamin. There we go. The bed was far softer than my bed back at the church, and the furnishings were lavish. This doesn't suit me. I should thank him for his generosity. Huh? The knock startled me, but I stood up to get out of bed and opened the door.
Buongiorno, signorina.
Buongiorno, signorina. Did you sleep well last night? I did. Yes, thank you for the change of clothes. Earlier this morning, a housemaid knocked on my door. She came to bring me my clothes, which appeared to be from my room at the church. I sent someone over to the church to check in. Seems no one was injured last night. Thank God. I also told them that you're safe here. But it's only been a day. I wouldn't go near there for a while. Yes, of course. Thank you. I'll have them prepare your breakfast. So take a seat for now. Once you're done, I'll ask you to accompany me shopping. Ugh. Shopping? I couldn't help but tilt my head as he motioned for me to sit on the sofa. Is there something you need help with? Well, you could say that. But I thought it wasn't wise for me to go outside at the moment. Someone who'd go as far as to sneak into the church in the middle of the night wouldn't give up so easily. If we went out into town, wouldn't I be attacked again? As I worried to myself, Senor Redford shook his head a little and smiled. If you're with me, everyone will know your current whereabouts. Then it's fine. We'll be caught eventually. Might as well let the cat out of the bag ourselves. There's no need for you to be locked away in the tower. You should be more comfortable. See, he's a good man. Dante kept me locked up in a tower. Gilbert won't. He spoke with a smile, but it wasn't so easy for me to change my mindset. In fact, it only worried me more. How should I explain myself to him? I should be upfront about all of this with him so there's no misunderstandings. I swiftly made my decision and looked him in the eye. But if they know where I'm staying, I may be attacked again. And I also think we could be attacked while we're out in town. I just find it hard for me to feel comfortable under such circumstances. Oh. He seemed to be surprised by my statement. His eyes widened and he fell silent for a moment. And then, forgive me, Pink. I'm a fool for not considering your feelings in this matter. His apology was grander than I expected. Despite his being the boss of the Visconti family, he spoke this way to me without hesitation. We've only just met. I should have been more clear with my intentions. That way, I wouldn't have made you so worried. It was my fault that you felt uneasy. Look at this man communicating with me well. Damn game. Oh. He looked into my eyes with sincerity as he spoke, and I started to feel guilty. I'm not angry. I just wanted to share my concerns. So please, don't worry. You're very kind. Will you listen to the excuse I had? I nodded a little. Still looking at me, he continued. In a town overrun by mobsters, where do you think is the safest place for you to be? Safest? Until now, my home had been the church. All conflict was forbidden in the neutral district of Arca. The church that existed there, I thought, was the safest place in the world. But something happened last night, and my sense of safety crumpled before my very eyes. A safe place in Berlin? Maybe there wasn't such a place. He must have anticipated my answer and shook his head. There is one place in Berlin that can't be touched, no matter who you are in the mafia. That is next to me. You smooth motherfucker. How dare you? I couldn't argue with such confident words. I suppose he has a point. As long as you have me by your side, no one can lay a finger on you. Picking a fight with Gilbert Redford means picking a fight with the whole Visconti family. I told you, didn't I? You're the Visconti's honored guest. I swear I will protect you. This man. How dare he? He spoke with certainty and smiled. So, you feel more relaxed now? Yes. I felt my tension ease a little. Thank you, senor. My real husband, Oliver. Gilbert, who is this young lady? My guess, she's going to be staying with us a while. Pink, this is Oliver, my friend and our treasurer. Treasurer, a member of the mafia who handles and accounts for the money within the organization. Thank you, terminology. Pleased to meet you, Oliver. I'm Pinker NeonNova. The pleasure is mine, Pinker. I'm Oliver Hawes. Look at him! Look at him! Oh my god, I love him. Although Gilbert calls me a treasurer, I'm actually a lawyer and Visconti's chief advisor. He's scary when he's pissed. He's actually a crooked lawyer. I love him so much. She won't understand you're joking, Gilbert. Do you know how many times I've saved this family? Of course, Oliver. I appreciate you. You've always handled the tricky ones. So, Signorina, what brings you here? Ah, well, you see. While Oliver and I waited for breakfast to be served, Gilbert went over the events that happened last night. As a result, picked up on the street. He's so mad. I love him. You picked up a woman that both the Falzone and the Laushu are after. Whether it's true or not, it's troublesome nonetheless. Don't be like that. Love me, Oliver.
What are you doing, Gilbert? Are you stupid?
Yeah, he's stupid, but we love him. That's right. This reaction is normal. It was more abnormal that Gilbert took me without any reservations. You must be the only one with the balls to call me stupid, Oliver.
This isn't the time to be laughing. Besides, what's wrong with calling stupid stupid?
What am I supposed to do? Being the cause of all this trouble, I didn't really know how to react. I felt so guilty. Anyway, Pink, you haven't eaten much. Is there something here you don't like? I replied to his question. Not at all. It's delicious.
I see. If that's the case, I'm glad.
Most of the dishes were not made Pukala style, so it all tasted new to me. The skillet cornbread was freshly made, hot and fluffy. A metal frying pan. The iron allows to heat slowly and... Try again. Skillet. A metal frying pan. The iron allows it to heat slowly and evenly. Thank you, terminology. The clam chowder was rich with milk and finely chopped vegetables.
That said, you are our honored guest. If you don't like anything, be sure to tell me.
Thank you, but I'll be fine. I'm not a very picky eater. Oh, but I suppose it's difficult to eat very bitter or spicy foods.
Ah, got it. I'll be sure to remember. Hey.
Oliver's temple twitched. His brows were shaking as he stared at us. Oliver's so mad, and I love him. You could tell he was beyond irritated.
You too. No, especially you, Gilbert. Do you remember what I was talking about? This isn't the time to be casually eating. Now, Oliver, settle down. I was just about to ask you what your food preference was.
He's such a little shit. I love him so much. Gilbert.
That's not what I'm saying. Calm down. When I asked her to come here, I'd already thought things through. I had her story checked out. It's true that there was an incident at the church last night. And let's say she was lying to us. What exactly would we lose here? Well, see, if my guest stays in one of these empty rooms for a few days, it's not a big deal. But this story is true. What would have happened to her if I just kicked her out now? Her options would be greatly reduced.
Oliver chose his words carefully. She would be left with the future of being sacrificed to the foul zone or the Lao Shu.
So, Oliver, you really think I'd let that happen? You wouldn't. She trusted me. She's relying on me. How can I be the boss of the Visconti if I can't even protect one Signorina's life? Besides, I knew in just one glance, she's not the type to lie.
I'll ask just in case. On what grounds?
Intuition.
I love him so much.
I knew you were going to say that.
Good lord, what am I going to do with you, boss? Oliver's face scrunched up as if he had a migraine, and he put his hand to his forehead. Oh, Oliver, I'll help you fix your migraine. I'll take away your pain. But eventually he sighed, as if giving up. He turned his attention to me again. Well, fine. I now understand it's pointless to say anymore. We'll be together a while, Miss Pinker. Are you sure it's all right? Well, at the end of the day, it's the boss's decision. That's what the family is all about. Please don't get me wrong. I don't mean to say I dislike you at all. See, he likes me. We're gonna run away together. Where are we gonna go? We can't stay in Italy. We're not going to Germany. Even though he's German. We're not going to Germany because it's 1925. We're not going to America because that's bad. We'll go to Canada together. No, it's fine. I understand. I personally felt that Oliver's concerns were legitimate. But please refrain from going about and acting recklessly. I'm not the one you have to worry about, sweetheart. That's all I ask of you. Oliver, when I'm done with breakfast, I'm going out on a date with her. Hold down the fort, will ya? Oliver's the best. Was he doing it on purpose, or was it all natural? He found the perfect time to add fuel onto the fire. You are such an idiot. In what world does a man take a wanted woman out on a stroll? Gee, you're such a worrywart. He gave a hearty laugh. Explain. All right. Nicola Francesca. You came right on time. The fact that you've shown up means you're going to explain to me what happened last night. Yes, I've come to talk to you. You didn't think you would be killed? I'm stronger than you are, so I wouldn't be killed. Even if you brought your men with you, I could easily run for it. Besides, I figured you'd let me speak first, then decide. Oh, Orlok, you're so smart. I love that for you. Fine. I'll hear you out. Hello, Coffee. Then, let me explain. No. We have no intention on being in opposition against the Foul Zone. I am certain we share the same goal. We, huh? So while you play informant around Berlone, you in fact have another role. And you're telling me that's your real job. I did lie to you. I admit that. But it was a necessary lie. We needed to see for ourselves if the Foul Zone was an organization that could be trusted. This sounds like it's going to be long. We can continue this at the Francesca Manor. You should still keep this from Dante. You're going to believe me? For now, whether I side with you or not is dependent on what you tell me. That's more than enough. Thanks. Okay, so the other two non-boss love interests are doing something. They're being friendly. He gave a hearty laugh. And then Oliver continued to scold and lecture him until our meal was over. Cute. Buongiorno, Gil. Buongiorno. Today is a fine day, isn't it? As we walked through Creta, everyone greeted Gilbert with a smile. I saw this yesterday when I went out for the provisioning. I never knew you could talk to a mafia boss, let alone the Visconti boss, so casually. It wasn't that the people of Creta were special. It seems Signor Redford gave off an aura that was rare in the mafia. Gil, that's quite an adorable signorina you brought with you today. I'm so jealous. I feel like I've seen you before. Hey now, don't stare at her too much, Massimo, or Gil will get jealous. It was love at first sight for me. It seemed to be fate that we'd meet one another. Boy, that sure sounds nice. So you went after her and now she's yours. 100% what happened. I guess it's time for you to settle down, huh, Gil? Creta will be flooded with all the other ladies' tears. Well, we've just gotten started here, but I appreciate the good wishes. I love him so much. Anyway, Antonio, how's the bar recently? Any problem customers? Nope. Thanks to you, business has been great. Before, all those dangerous looking ones were always hanging around here. I think they were from Veleno. But thanks to the Visconti driving them away, they haven't shown up since. You really did me a favor. Aw, good job. That's so. Glad to hear it. If anything else comes up, be sure to let me know. Gilbert's so good taking care of his people. After their cheerful exchange, we began to walk over to the business district. Say, just now, I whispered to him as he walked next to me. You said it was fate. I know it may be trouble for you, but I didn't want them asking questions. I'm not going to tell you to act like my girlfriend, but it'd help if you went along with it. We couldn't tell the public he was watching over me. If people started to question us, it'd be a problem. After hearing his side of the story, it all made sense. Of course, I understand. My Gil, what a lovely companion you have today. You don't even have your men here with you. Are you on a date? Gosh, I'm so jealous. If only I were 10 years younger. Oh, Nina, my arms are wide open to you, even now. Your bombetta is exquisite. You could win over anyone's stomach. Dear me, it's not your stomach I want to win over, but your heart. Ma'am! I know you're busy, but when you find the time, stop by so I can make something for you. And for the young lady, of course. Thank you. I'd love to try your bombetta. See you, Nina. It's getting chilly lately, so be sure to stay warm. Don't catch a cold. Yes, and thank you as always. Coffee. Okay, we're done with our coffee for the night. All gone. As he bid farewell to Nina, we once again continue down the street. What's the matter? You've been looking around. Oh, it's just amazing to me. Krita is always bustling and energetic, and everyone seems so happy. Walking with you, it seems even more so.
Grazie, signorina.
Grazie, signorina. Hearing such fine things about Krita is as good of praise for the Visconti. I'm glad. The people of Krita must really like you. And I'm sure he shares the sentiment. He was addressing everyone by name earlier. He wouldn't be able to do that if he didn't actually care for them. Do you always walk around like this? Yeah. It's faster to see things for yourself. He's definitely the right person to lead. By the way, you mentioned you wanted to go shopping. What are we going to buy? You'll see. We're almost there. What are you buying, Gilbert? About an hour later, Gilbert and I enjoyed the nice ocean breeze as we walked down the path along the beach. I still felt awkward, and I glanced over at him. He looked at me as if he saw right through me and smiled. You look great today. I guess I have a good eye after all. Thank you. Gilbert had taken me to a very popular boutique. I declined his offer, but was thrown into the fitting room to try on outfit after outfit. Some the shop owner had brought over, and some Gil chose himself. Like a doll, I was dressed in various clothes, despite my protests. Then, when finally, he pointed out to me that I needed clothes, and I couldn't help but accept. But I never thought that you'd buy almost the entire shop from corner to corner. Really, it's not funny. Of all the clothes he bought me, his favorite was the one I wore out of the boutique. He was going to have the remainder delivered to the manor. Think of it as a present. All you have to do is smile and accept. That's what he says, but... But don't you think it's wasteful? I think you bought too much. Besides, they were all a price I could never afford to buy. You didn't have to buy them, you know. We could have just gone back to the church. I'm sure someone's staking out the church. I can't allow you to pop in and out of there for the time being. Oh, you do have a point. And I couldn't ask anyone in the Visconti to pick out my clothes either. Huh? Looking at me, he gave a warm smile. It really does suit you. Hearing him say that so naturally was making me feel so self-conscious. Besides, dressing up a beautiful woman like this is a man's fantasy. I don't think that is a man's fantasy. I think the taking it off part is. So don't take away my fun. Okay. When you put it like that, there's nothing more I can say. Just then, I heard a peaceful laugh. Wait for me! Wait for me! Children ran past me with cones of colorful gelato in their hands.
Come to think of it, I'm getting a little hungry. You want some gelato?
Yeah? Huh? Oh.
Which one do you want?
He gave me no time to refuse, walking up to the gelato shop and paying for 2 people. I couldn't help but accept, and I contemplated for a second before deciding on a flavor. Then, lemon would be nice.
Got it. Give me 1 lemon and a coffee.
I feel like he's making me dance on the palm of his hand. He always seemed to be a step or 2 ahead of me. He's good at dealing with people. He seemed very mature. The gelateria here is fantastic. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Gilbert smiled widely as he offered the gelato to me. Thank you. I tried it and it's delicious. The gelato had a smooth taste on my tongue. I could taste the lemon zest. The tartness of the lemon and the sweetness of the milk balanced each other out.
Do you like it?
Yes, it's delicious, just as you said.
Is the lemon really that good? I want some now. Give me a bite. You can have mine too.
What? He naturally approached me. And took a bite of the gelato in my hand. Ah. When he bent down, there was a faintly sweet scent. Sunlight filtered through his hair and onto his fearless face. It was so close that I could probably touch it if I reached out. It's really good. Grazie. The area his lips touched melted softly and left a slight trace of him. Ah. I could hear my heart pounding in my ears. I couldn't help but stare at his lips. He's so handsome. Do you like gelato?
Yeah. I like to eat and stroll. Isn't it more delicious that way?
Sir! This man doesn't have a care in the world. I love him so much. Gilbert contently watched the people walking by. There were children playing and adults laughing with one another. The street along the beach was bustling. It's not just Creta. I love Berlin, the town itself and the people living in it. I mean, because I'm part of the mafia, I do some rough things from time to time. But for those who can get past that, I'm here to help. For those who are good to me in trouble, I don't want to ignore them. And I continued to run with that. Before I knew it, I was at the top of the Visconti. And you are one of the people living in this town. So if you are in trouble, I want to help you. Senor Redford. Don't worry. Fate brought us together. All you have to do is go along for the ride. Okay. He wasn't lying when he said he loved this town. I'm sure I can trust him. I felt like I could be at ease by his side. What do I do? I had returned to my room in the manor and was holding my head alone. It was because of the boxes of presents piled before me. Inside were all the clothes that he bought for me earlier. He really bought so much. Seeing how much there was, I couldn't help but feel guilty. I have to treasure them. If I keep them in boxes, they'll become creased. If I decided to put them in the closet, I decided to put them in the closet and open the boxes nearby. I took a few of them in my hands and stood up. Suddenly, I caught my reflection in a mirror. I was wearing the elegant dress that Gilbert chose for me to wear out of the boutique. I looked again at the intricate design in a color I'd never wear, and it made my heart flutter. I slowly took one of the dresses in my arms and held it against myself. It's so cute. I'd never had so many clothes in my life. I never felt like I'd lacked anything at all. But I couldn't help but be happy about it. As I was almost done putting everything away, I noticed a small box. This box looks different from the others. What is it? I opened it, and inside were cute hair accessories and ribbons. They looked versatile and easy to match with the new clothes Gil bought. Wow, he even chose these for me? Clothes, accessories. I'd never been given such elegant gifts before. I have to thank him. Just as I thought that, I recalled the words he said as we returned to the manor. I'll come and pick you up around supper time. Be ready. Be ready for what? I'm not going to force you, but I'd be glad if you wore something I bought for you today. What? Remembering the little battles we had in the boutique today, I chose an outfit. He had brought over a slightly mature wine red dress to my dressing room. He said he felt I would look good in it, but he wouldn't come and see me after I put it on. As soon as he confirmed that the size fit, he paid for it. This was something he bought for me to wear. The thought tickled somewhat, and with a small sigh, I started to change into it. It was time for us to meet. It was a little past 9 o'clock. Oh my God, 9 p.m. I was nervous when I opened the door to answer his knock. You look beautiful, just as I thought. It suits you. Thank you. I've come to pick you up, Senorina. May I escort you? Where are you taking me, sir? Sure. I managed to smile and take the hand he offered me. I don't know why, but I'm nervous. It was my first time being escorted by a man. Normally, I'm usually just escorted by Elena, my wife. Ever since I arrived at the manor, ever since I met him, I had experienced so many firsts. Gilbert naturally pulled out the chair for me to sit down. Where's Oliver? Guess he's not here yet. Let's start without him. Are you sure? It's his fault for making the Signorina wait. I couldn't help but giggle at that. Tonight, we're going to toast to our encounter. My chef prepared this for us. On the small plate was this storfamato, made with a hollowed-out eggplant shaped into a bowl. The brightly baked cheese and beautifully cooked eggs looked appetizing. The pizza was soft and fluffy, topped with sliced sausages and olives. Oh my god, I can't talk! And the spaghetti con polpettine was rich with flavor and generously portioned. Everything is so delicious. Thank you, Senor. Seeing the smile on your face, the best reward anyone could ask for. And I meant to tell you this yesterday, but you can call me Gil. It's what I ask the people of Krita and my subordinates to call me. What should I do? Sure, I suppose I could. Thank you for your generosity during my short stay here, Gil. My pleasure, Signorina. I personally don't mind if it's more than a short while. Stop flirting with me! Oh my god, my life is in danger. Stop it! Well, I'll do my best so that you can return to the church in peace. If you could bear with us for the time being. And I want to ask you just in case, but we're friends now, right? Right. That would make me happy. After all, we took a stroll through town today and shared a gelato. Right. Then we are for sure friends. Even if you return to the church, our relationship won't change. Be sure to drop by and visit when you can, alright? You're always welcome here. Thanks, Gil. That makes me very happy. I spoke in a soft voice, and Gil gave me a kind smile. No, I'm the one that would be happy. I apologize for my tardiness. Did I at least make it in time for the toast? There's toast? Garlic toast? Yeah, perfect timing. I ordered the best Riesling available. It's very well chilled. Riesling, a popular wine from Germany made using Riesling grapes. The wine is noted for its fruity and floral taste. Thank you, terminology. I didn't need terminology to know what that one was. When I used to drink, I was a Riesling bitch. I don't drink anymore. Miss, do you drink? I do. Because you're a tall glass of water, sir. Yes, but are you sure it's alright? Of course. You are our guest of honor today. Thank you. I'm special. Oliver uncorked the expensive-looking bottle and poured the beautiful pale golden wine into 3 wine glasses. I had this prepared to celebrate our securing a recent deal, but it's good to have even more reasons to toast. Yeah, tonight we'll toast to the success of a big deal and an encounter with a lovely lady. To equally important events. You seem to be in a good mood, Gilbert. Well, I spent all that time and effort. They were being too cautious. I thought they'd never say yes. If there were a slight chance of it not being profitable, they would have backed out immediately. We're lucky they even said yes. I'm relieved that Lowe was able to help us. Besides, the current administration is really strict on the Mafia. I can see why they were being cautious. You're right. Now, with this, I feel like our men have really earned a little bonus. Oliver, let's celebrate happy things tonight. No talks of politics with them. What am I going to do with you, boss? Threesome is what we're gonna do with the boss. What? Sorry. I'm lost in their eyes. I wonder if I'm even allowed to be listening to this conversation. I was a little worried, but I also found myself smiling at Gil having so much fun. I unknowingly smiled to myself. Today was such a busy day. It's not just Krita. I love Berlone, the town itself and the people living in it. I'm glad I was able to hear him say that. Meanwhile, question. Dante. Yo, Dante. How goes it? I'm not interested in small talk. Don't be so cranky. You called because you wanted to ask me something, right? I heard you were dragging Pinker NeonNova around town today. Why is she with the Visconti? You really get straight to the point, don't ya? Then, is it true the Falzone and the Laoshi were fighting over her? Yes. Thanks for the honesty. There's no point in hiding that fact. Anyways, I asked you a question. Why is she with you? Depending on your answer. Now, don't be so hasty, Dante. I have nothing to hide. I'll give you a straight answer. She's my friend and a very important guest of the Visconti. That's why he made sure we were friends, so he could be like, Dante, she's my friend, and you're not gonna mess with my friend, are you? Are you? We're not tying her down and forcing her to stay. She came to us of her own volition. But she seems to be very important to the Falzone family, that is. Better yet, to you. So what if she was? If she has even a single scratch on her, you're not dumb enough to not know what that will happen to you then, are you? Don't get worked up. I think that's a message for the old rats rather than for me. Well, not that there's anything getting through to Yang. That's a basket case if I've ever seen one. Judging by what he's saying, it seemed that Gilbert didn't know the truth of her value. The truth of my value is I am a delight to be around, and Gilbert loves that about me. Also, he realizes that I have value to both of you, and, you know, he's gonna use that to his advantage. But he's gonna be nice to me about it. Well, I've made my point. I'm sure Gilbert understands now that he shouldn't meddle in this business. I don't think he does, Dante. He's kind of dumb. Actually, he's not. He's the smartest man of you three. As long as I can verify her safety, I just need to wait for the right time. I'm glad I was able to hear him say that. I felt like I could deepen my trust in him. Yeah, you should let him get deep with you. After we finished dinner, Gil walked me to my room. Thanks for spending the time with me today. I had a lot of fun. Rest well. And sweet dreams. Beckoning. Is he gonna call and threaten Yang now? What's the matter, Yang? Calling me out in the middle of the night like this? To your chamber of all places? This is confidential. I don't want the others to hear yet. Please tell me. I'm concerned about the homeland's attitude. What is your opinion on the Li Huan Hu and their behavior lately? The behavior of the homeland. I need you to be more specific. What is it that you're worried about? Let me ask you, Lee. Don't you think there's anything at all? I've trusted you to maintain correspondence with them, haven't I? The 6 phoenixes are behaving strangely. The change is remarkable. However, we have not been notified of the reason. It seems they have something to hide. Whether against the Lao Shu or myself is unknown. Have you noticed any changes, however trivial? Think carefully. Well, there is one thing. The shootout at the church between the Foul Zone and the Lao Shu was such a horrific memory. I was worried, so worried last night I could barely fall asleep. But tonight, I feel like I can sleep a little. Yay! I slept well. I stretched and looked around the room for a clock. Huh? It's already past 8. This isn't the church, so I don't have any chores to tend to. But it still didn't change the fact that I woke up late. Huh? What's going on? I listened carefully and heard a ruckus inside the manor. Confused, I got up and hurried to get dressed. Hurry. Gather all of the official documents. And all of the tax-related documents. I need the past 5 years. What going on? What happened? What happened? Right. Yes, sir, Oliver. And I'll be leaving the manor before 9 o'clock. If there's anything to report, do it by then. They seem very busy. Judging by Oliver's attitude, it must be something serious. I was afraid to disturb them. But, standing here at the entrance of the lounge, I'd just be in their way. Good morning, Oliver. You seem very busy today. Is there anything I can help you with? Oliver looked towards me and spoke in a frustrated tone. His response was something beyond what I could have imagined. Gilbert's been arrested. Arrested? Hearing the unexpected news, I couldn't help but stand frozen in place.
Uh-oh, what our man do? Chapter 2. Guess what? Is it that Gilbert was arrested? Oh, you came too, Pink. Sorry to have you make the trip all the way here. We were visiting at the prison. Gilbert had his usual easygoing smile that made the whole situation feel relaxed. Yo, Oliver, you're faster than I expected. Of course, if I were the only one coming, I would have been here sooner. I saw Oliver's brows furrow a little, and he glanced over at me. She insisted on coming along and wouldn't back down. I'm sorry, Oliver. It's fine. You are Gilbert's guest, after all. I didn't know what to do with you anyway. Just take care of me. Let me follow you around like a puppy and I'll be satisfied. That's how it works, you know? Given the circumstances, I couldn't exactly have left you back at the manor either. Hey, Oliver, I want you to take care of her while I'm in here. Me? Take care of her? You're my most trusted friend. Who else could do it but you? I refuse. You picked her up, didn't you? She's your responsibility until the very end. Okay, I know I said you just have to let me follow you around like a puppy, but I'm not actually a puppy. I'm a human woman. Besides, you'll be out in a few hours. Didn't I tell you this guy was fast? Seeing Gil laugh happily, I was finally able to breathe a sigh of relief. I'm glad that you're in good spirits, Gil. You don't seem to be injured either. But how did this happen? Oliver, you didn't explain to her what happened? Look, she was so worried because you didn't tell her what happened. How could you do such a thing? Everyone pick on Oliver! Everyone pick on Oliver! Everyone pick on Oliver! We didn't have time for chit-chat. Thanks to this inappropriate incident of a mafia boss being arrested. You got me there. Besides, explaining would have only made her more worried. It was faster for me to bring her straight here. Oliver then looked over at me and spoke with an unabating frown. When Gilbert was arrested at the manor, of course I asked the police what the charges were. They didn't explain anything to me. All they said was that it was classified. Classified? Is that even possible to arrest someone without saying what they're being arrested for? The answer is no, but that's not the problem here. Why did the Berlin police act in this way? The issue lies there. You have a point. The police taking such forceful steps despite knowing how dangerous the mafia is. The police in this town usually went out of their way to not upset the mafia. That was why the town of Berlin was so different from others. I wonder if something happened. I thought I caught Gil and Oliver looking at one another and smiling. Gilbert, they questioned you, right? Yeah. Of course, I don't think they'd be kind enough to let you know what they were after.
But knowing you, you must have some idea why they detained you so suddenly. Despite being the one arrested, Gil gave a confident smile and answered, apparently, I'm being investigated as the main culprit of a counterfeiting ring. Ugh. Gilbert spoke so nonchalantly, but Oliver was at a loss for words and simply froze. A few hours later, thanks to Oliver's handling of the situation, Gil was able to get out safely on bail. Oliver, you are amazing. You were able to get him out in half a day because of the police forcible arrest. Though I was impressed, he spoke as if it were nothing. This time it was relatively easy. Gil was lucky to be incarcerated in this town. Huh? Like I said earlier, the ones who arrested Gilbert were Berlin police. However, the ones who ordered the arrest were the military police. The military police? It was the national military of the Kingdom of Italy. They were a military organization of far greater power and scale. But how did you negotiate with the police, Oliver? They're a government institution that's capable of using force. I've heard the rumors. It's a credible rumor, but there's always those who wield their power in a brutal manner. That being said, military police sent an arrest warrant from Rome to Berlin. Oh, so it wasn't that they personally came to arrest Gil. Precisely. They're simply watching from afar. On the other end, the police who were forced to carry out the arrest were obviously upset. Arresting a mafia boss in this town means putting your life on the line. Even after the incident, Even after the incident is resolved, they'll still be living in fear. The military police are too far away to care about what happens. So then, the Berlin police didn't agree with the orders they were given. Upon hearing my question, Gil snapped his fingers and began to laugh. Exactly. Oliver used that sentiment with them to get me released. The national police are in charge of all of local police forces, including Berlin's. Right. Berlin's police are a separate organization from the military police. I remembered reading about it in the newspaper before. If these two organizations are to do a joint investigation, the military police will have main control over it. This time, the details were classified. Then, the city police must feel negatively towards the military. As long as the incident took place in Berlin, the trial must be done in town. Gilbert will be charged during the trial. Then they plan to move him to the capital in Rome. Then they won't be able to get Gil out of town until the trial is over, right? Right. And the military police are a national organization. They have a tendency to look down on local police. Supposedly, they weren't sharing vital information with their police. For example, specific evidence proving Gilbert's crimes. Can you imagine how scared the Berlin police were to arrest the Visconti family boss under such circumstances? Oliver sighed as if he felt sorry for them. He continued. That's why I decided to choose Berlin's police in negotiating Gilbert's release. I'm sure you know, since you are from Berlin, but
We do have a number of people on the police force who have a good relationship with the mafia. It was relatively easy to get my way.
You can get your way with me any day.
I'm so glad to have you, Oliver. You did good.
No compliments needed. I'll give you all the compliments, Oliver. Anyway, Gilbert, I have the car waiting. What do you wish to do?
I'm walking home. I want to go and check in on the people.
I figured you'd say that. And what about you?
Why don't you walk with me? It'll be more interesting than rushing back to the manor.
Right. I'll take you up on your offer.
All right. Then leave it all to me.
Gilbert gave such a bright smile, it was almost hard to believe he was arrested this morning. Seeing him like that, Oliver gave a big sigh and spoke in a reprimanding tone.
I'm going to go back to the car, then. Don't kill too much time, Gilbert.
Your subordinates are still worried. Hurry back and show them your face.
I know. And Oliver, you must be tired from working all morning, aren't you? I want you to take the afternoon off.
Oliver laughed a little, then raised his hand slightly in response.
Well, we should get going.
Yes. We're going to take a walk with Gilbert in a minute. I need to take a stretch break. Hearing everything, there was one thing I was curious about. The truth about the charges against Gil.
What's the matter? You look like something's bothering you.
Gil, can I ask you something? I think you're a good person. I'm very grateful that you saved me. But I don't know much about the Visconti or the Mafia. So, I wanted to ask you one thing. Gil smiled and slightly and looked straight into my eyes.
I think I know what it is. You want to know whether or not I'm really involved in counterfeiting money, right?
It was as if he saw right through me. I gulped without thinking.
But would you believe me anyway? No matter what I said to reassure you, you'd still have your doubts.
No. The answer you give me will be the answer in my eyes. I have a feeling that during times like this, you wouldn't lie. But that's just my hunch. That's my woman's intuition.
It's not just Greta. I love Berlin, the town itself, and the people living in it. I mean, because I'm part of the Mafia, I do some rough things from time to time. But for those who can get past that, I'm here to help. For those who are good to me in trouble, I don't want to ignore them.
Hi, Cole. How are you? What Gil said to me yesterday wasn't a lie. I didn't think he was just saying it. I wanted to believe in his words.
No, that's Gil.
Doing okay. Recovering from the EPs? Yeah, I saw you were EP today. My poor little Cole was so EP. Did you have a nap? Did you have something to eat and get some water? That's good. I'm glad. This route started with my last 4 love interests fighting over me at the church, and then I ran into Gil's loving arms. And since then, he's been nothing but a gentleman to me. And he bought me clothes. He's such a good man. Gilbert gazed at me and smiled gently. He then gave a strong nod. All right, then, since you'll hear me out, I'll answer you. Are you innocent? Or are you... No. Is the Visconti really counterfeiting money? He looked at me with a quiet fire in his eyes and responded. Of course I've been framed. I don't like lying when it comes to money. Good boy. That's good. What a relief. I was glad I mustered up the courage to ask him. Oh, hold on. I want to show you the CG we got of him. Look at it. He took me out for gelato. Look at how handsome he is. And then he ate my gelato. He's so handsome. He's kissing the tip. I was glad I mustered up the courage to ask him. Gil had taken me in for my protection. I didn't want to doubt him, given the circumstances. But if you've been falsely accused, we need to clear your name. Seems to be the case. Are you rooting for me? Of course I am. Of course. I made a fist and answered immediately. For some reason, Gil began to laugh. I mean, you saved me, Gil. If there's anything I can do for you, I want to do it. Baby girl. As Gil and I talked, we walked down the streets of Arca. 2 people stopped in front of us. Ugh, the police. You're out of the cell already. Roberto glared at Gil. Next to him was Marco, who was clearly troubled by the interaction. Well, I was falsely accused. When my lawyer explained my side of the story, they were happy to let me go. Even if I grant you that, and admit there were issues on how you were arrested, even if you were falsely charged this time, it doesn't change the fact that you are a criminal. Shut up, Roberto. All you parasitic criminals are preying on the town. We'll arrest you sooner or later. Shut up, Roberto. Those who commit crimes, whether the mafia or not, must be convicted in the name of justice. Shut up, Roberto. I see. Then I'd love to see what justice means to you. What did you say? The fact that you suspected me means that there is counterfeit money circulating the town, right?
You say I'm mafia and a criminal. But at the same time, I'm a civilian who loves this town. I would never let someone feed off of their loan with something as unimaginative as counterfeit money. I know you cops know full well that this is an issue that will affect all of Berlin. This town makes money from trade. If the value of the currency is suspect, we'll take a huge hit. But mama, I'm in love with a criminal, and this type of love isn't rational. I love it. Right. Not only that, if this incident goes public, tourism will go down as well. That's right. If you want to save Berlin, you have no choice but to arrest the true culprit. But I'm sure the military cops can't do it. Those guys, they're not being jerks. They really think the Visconti did it. No matter how much time and manpower they waste, there's nothing to find here. Gilbert shook his head, as if he were at a loss for what to do, then looked at Roberto with a serious expression. But seems like you're not like them. Roberto, was it? You know my name? Of course he does. He knows everyone's name because he's a good man who remembers people's names. Well, of course, I'm bound to hear the detective who's giving my guy the hard time. Roberto, earlier you said, even if you were falsely accused, right? That tells me that, unlike the military, you are capable of considering all possibilities of who the real culprit could be. Like you said, I may be a criminal, but I can swear to God that my feelings for this town are true. Well, I know this isn't something you need to know, but if you ever feel stuck, and if it's something criminals like us can resolve, you can visit me anytime. Gilbert! Like, listen, if the military police won't help you, I, Gilbert Redford, leader of the Visconti family, will help you. He glared at Gil, but eventually responded in a calm manner. I don't need to state the obvious, but I'm a detective. I'd never ask a criminal for help. Can't say that isn't wise. But just be sure to keep that in the corner of your mind, just in case you are in a bind. Okay? Roberto has always hated the mafia, but today he seems especially open to what Gil has to say and able to respond without getting emotional, without getting too emotional. We can read. Maybe Gil got through to him? Anyway, you got a minute? Why is she with the boss of the Visconti? Oh, you know, we're dating. Don't worry about it, Marco. It's nothing you need to worry your pretty little head over. My other husband. Hey, Roberto, did you just notice? No, I just... There was a criminal in front of me, so I was focused on him. Can you please hurry up and fix your tunnel vision for the sake of my ulcer? We're knocking boots, bumping uglies, making pearl necklaces, being romantic. You know, me, him, and Oliver, we're all over each other. The three of us are having a romance. Marco gave a tired sigh, and I decided to speak to him with careful words. Marco? You see, I'm staying at Gil's for the moment. Some things happened. For a few seconds, he was looking at me with the eyes of a detective. They say the Eiffel Tower is the most romantic date. And who you think is in the middle is not. It's Gilbert. He's in the middle. Although he wasn't saying anything, his stare made me almost want to look away. Nice. Got it. And have you told Sister Sophia? Yes. I see. Well, if I ever run into her, I'll tell her the same. That she doesn't have to worry about you, Pink. Thank you so much, Marco. It's all part of the job. Don't worry. Anyway, Gilbert. I'm not going to ask what happened, but you be sure to take care of her. I don't want to see any more young girls being thrown around by the Mafia here. I mean, he could throw me around a little bit, but in a fun way. In a fun way only. I've had enough being stabbed. Unless it's Yang. That's welcome. I promise you this, Marco. I'll make sure nothing bad happens to her. I'm gonna take your word on this. Yeah. Well, see you two later. You sure you want to let him get away? Seems like something has happened. Even more of a reason to let them be. Let's hurry back to work, Robbie. We've got a job to do. I love that he calls him Robbie. Hey, Gil. What are you going to do about the counterfeit money issue? There's nothing harder than trying to prove that you didn't do something. Correct. You couldn't just say you're innocent. It wouldn't be enough to clear your name. Exactly. But we also can't drag our feet in finding a resolution either. If things take too long, eventually the public may start to believe what they hear. What I need to do is vindicate myself 100% in a way that no one can doubt. In order to do that, you have to capture the real culprit. Simple, right? If there's someone else who did it, the cops will give up their love affair with me. Too real, Gilbert. Too real. Right? Right. Finding a culprit and proving Gil's innocence would be our compass. Until now, Gil was full of energy, but suddenly his eyes dimmed. We only have until my trial. I'll have to figure out something by then. If we don't succeed before then, the military police will force
their assumption as truth and make Gil out to be the culprit. I imagined the worst case scenario and felt myself shaking. That night, I got ready for bed and was about to turn in when suddenly there was a knock on my door. Yes? It's me. Sorry for bothering you so late. You have a moment? I'm in my night clothes, Gilbert. I'm coming. Not yet. I opened the door and welcomed Gilbert into my room. Is something the matter? I'm going to go visit Dante Falzone and Yang of the Lao Shu tomorrow. You're going to see the bosses of the other families? Yeah, I figured I should explain to them why I was arrested this morning. I don't want them getting the wrong idea about the situation or thinking that it's a good time for a power grab. It must be hard on you, Gil. Pink, keep it in your pants. Not the character, the streamer. Maintaining a connection with the other two bosses in Berlin must be why the balance is maintained amongst the families. But why are you telling me this? Huh? I wanted you to join me. What? Me? The Visconti family doesn't want to be in conflict with them over this incident. That's why we're meeting. But your existence can potentially be the root of discord amongst the families. I couldn't help but remember what happened that night, and a cold sense of fear returned. Do I really have to go? Yeah. I need to be honest with them and convince them to be okay with your staying with me. Of course, I'm not planning on betraying you or selling you to them. Trust me on that. I looked at Gil carefully. Nope, we don't save. We charge forward. Keep it out of the pants. Keep it out of the pants. We don't save. We charge forward like men. Are you sure? Will you protect me, Gil? Yeah, of course. Pink. I felt myself losing against his eye, and without another word, I gave an awkward nod. Grazie. Look at this man. Oh my god. Like, the rest of them are drawn attractively, okay? Obviously. They're all drawn attractively, but he's just drawn much more mature and manly. Like, you understand, right, Cole? Like, I can't explain it more than that. Where are you going to meet with them? Yeah, he's a hunk. They're all kind of Twinkies. They're all kind of like twinks. He's more of a hunk. Hold on, I need to get a picture of all of them together. Give me 1 second. PioFiore, love, interests, images. This one's a good one. He looks like he can take a strap without practice. I love it. Gameplay. Add image. Browse. There. Like when we're looking at them, like in comparison, he's definitely more, right? Like they're all kind of pretty boys. Even Yang, who's like, I'm the yandere. He's like, I am the handsomest man in this game. The rest are just pretty boys. The only one who comes kind of close in handsome man is Nicola. But he's kind of a catty bitch. Yeah, he has the biggest package. No, that's Oliver. Oh no, Nicola died. Anyway. But yeah, like, he's just so handsome. Anyway. Where are we going to meet them? A casino. A casino? I'd never been in one, but I heard it was a social gathering of ladies and gentlemen where a lot of money was exchanged. Can they even have a conversation in such a loud place? You look curious. I know I said a casino, but we're not going to talk in the main hall. It's in a neutral area, and the director is very understanding of us. That's why I've reserved the place. It makes gambling sound like Wall Street. A little bit. I see. That's right. Did you know there's a dress code at a casino? Yes, I've heard of it. There's a nice dress we bought the other day. I think it's the crimson one with the embroidery. I'm sorry, Gil. It was so kind of you to buy it for me, but I can't wear that dress. Is it risque? Did something happen to it? No, it's not that. I wanted to come up with a good excuse, but for some reason I couldn't think of one. I decided to be honest with him. Well, that dress has a very open design, right? I have this birthmark. If I wear that dress, it'll be exposed. Yeah, I bet. I must say so idle. I don't mind, but I know that's not the issue here. It's fine. I got it. Times like these, your feelings come first. If you don't wear it, if you don't want to wear it, let's not wear that one. Thanks, Gil. But I want the one with flowers on it. There was a pink dress like that, right? I can't wait to see you all dressed up tomorrow. You can't wait to take it off, is what you mean. Sir. I'm not confident, but I'll try my best. I like to be in the open after the party, not during. I gave a small sigh as I answered, but Gil laughed out loud as if satisfied. It suits you. You're beautiful, Pink. Even the night stars would be jealous. God damn it, sir. Stop it. Ever since I met him, Gil has always been this way. He offered infinite words of praise, but it was beginning to embarrass me. I had asked him a few times not to do so, but he always told me very seriously that he couldn't help it because it was the truth, and how could he lie? And so, we entered the restricted hall in the casino and finally reached the room. Inside, there was already 3 people waiting. Grumpy McGee, the first was Dante Falzone. He glanced at me and furrowed his brow in annoyance. You really are late, Gil. I thought you weren't going to join us this time. Nicola Francesca was smiling, but he spoke in a tone that seemed to be on edge. Gil said it was a meeting with the 3 family bosses, but the fact that Nicola is here must mean Signor Francesca is one of the high-ranking members of the Falzone. It seemed unlikely that a member of no status would be given a seat at the table. Gil gave a casual smile. Cut me some slack, guys. I was so mesmerized by the goddess of the moon that I lost track of time. Damn it, Gilbert! Huh? Wait, Gil, are you talking about me? Of course. Sir, stop flirting with me. Don't, but you're literally going to get shot by Dante. In the face, point blank. Gil gave a mischievous smile, and part of me regretted asking him. And the last person in the room was bringing a woman to meet a meeting such as this. Hi, Yang. You tried to kidnap me from my bed. It was the man who pointed a knife to my throat the night at the church. You're already gonna spread us open and butter us like toast later. You can stop. Literally, this man's gonna look at me and say, come, and come over here. And I'm gonna be like, oh, I already did. We're already there, sir. Hi, Yang. This is the one route I'm not going to obsess over you anytime you're on screen because damn, Gil's doing good. I recalled the fear I felt back then, and I couldn't help but freeze where I stood. It seems your time in jail is just a distant memory now, as expected, Redford. However, I never imagined the head of Visconti would be arrested so suddenly. You get me, Cole. Perhaps you could share so we could use that as future reference. Of course, I'd be happy to share. That's why I called you here today. Gil never broke his smile as he pulled something out of his pocket. Pink, can you take this to them? Yes. I nervously took what he offered and walked up to each boss. For you, Senor Falzone. He gave me a cold glance, but accepted it without saying anything. For you, Senor Yang. He looked back at me as my voice shook and gave a teasing smile. I admire your taste, Redford. However, rather than a flashy dress, why don't you have her wearing something neat and tidy, befitting of a church woman? In her case, she's more irresistible in a modest dress. Of course, I couldn't present her to you guys like that. Responding in an aloof tone, Senor Falzone spoke quietly. A $10 bill. It's US money! In their hands was the money I gave them. Looks like any other 10, doesn't it? But that's a counterfeit. It's a sunflower dress. Nope. In an instant, the air in the room grew cold. Indeed, at first glance, it's difficult to tell. It's quite an elaborate counterfeit. This is the reason why I was arrested. This was your doing? Not mine. It was obtained by a friend. I needed to bring a sample, or else you wouldn't believe me, right? Supposedly, these have been circulating around Berlin. So the counterfeits are in dollars? They weren't in lira, the Italian currency? Yeah. That's a good eye you got there. Well, I mean, you only have one good eye, sir, so you need another one, I guess. If you're gonna do something wrong, might as well do it right. In this world, there's cheap money, and there's expensive money. Damn, Rufus. Oh, I'm just saying. Everyone else kept me locked up and stupid. So, at least used my brain. Cheap money and expensive money. International trust in lira is weak. For half a century, the country has local banknotes with the same value as issued nationally. Even now, the lira isn't a currency that's unified in all Italian regions. In rural areas, they say that the local banknote has more value than the national currency. Or my eyes. Like, my eyes are pretty, and I got 2 of them, so use them. Oliver's got the brains. Oliver is the brain of this operation. Gil is the brawn. I'm the beauty. Look, we make a perfect team, the 3 of us. So even if you made counterfeit lira, it still wouldn't hold value globally.
Exactly. Have you heard of the Long Depression?
The Depression in the late 1800s? I heard it lasted 20 years.
That's right. America went through it as well, but their export value increased instead of decreased. They sold some things to Europe and earned a hefty wad of foreign currency. Some things indeed. If you're going to say that much, why not simply tell her what they were?
What do you mean?
America provided Europe with what they needed, growing their industry and becoming vastly wealthy. Now, what could you have possibly wanted? Something happened in your region, if you recall.
An incident that occurred in Europe. War.
Yang's smile warped, and he smirked with satisfaction at my response.
Then, what America was selling were weapons for war.
America was far from the battlefield, making their money without shedding any blood.
Yep.
Leave it at that, Yang. Do you plan on having a history lesson with her?
Why not?
The woman had no sense of urgency. I was possessed by the desire to educate her.
Sir! The things you want to educate me in are much different.
Getting back to the point, the American dollar is currently the most valuable in the world.
1925. Italy, y'all.
Even in a global economic crisis, America is known for their ability to rebuild capital. That's how they've sustained credibility. Wanted to fill her head.
He did. Economic crisis. Hasn't there been greater prosperity lately? No, it's the Depression.
After the Crimean War, there was economic turmoil worldwide. There are rumors of another approaching crisis.
No, it's the Dirty 30s. I'm stupid. Oh my god. On a similar or possibly even larger scale.
Those with their eyes on the world's cash flow think so anyway. So if you're gonna make a counterfeit, you gotta look not just at the value of the currency today, but the future value too.
Hasn't it been great how all the rich are flying from guys over political game? Yeah, get them all. Eat the rich, eat the rich, eat the rich. I mean, what? So that's why they chose the American dollar. For the United Kingdom's pound sterling, its future is steady for now, but its value has plummeted compared to the past. If you were to ask me, I would choose the American dollar. Considering the situation, it's only natural.
His eyes narrowed coldly as he spoke in an unconcerned manner. Normally, for money, it's hard to move. Everyone uses money from their own country, but this town's different. I understood what Gil meant. It's because Berlin is known as the back door to Europe. God damn it, game. That's right. Everyone knows this town's distribution hub. This town's the distribution hub for backdoor deals. Jesus Christ. Say it one more time, you guys. For generations, the mafia has been host to illicit transactions. Money, contraband, people, all have been bought and sold here. You're saying that someone tried to circulate counterfeit money using this distribution channel. If my sources are correct, this counterfeit money is already circulating globally. I heard America's got more than a few cases. And they think you're the one behind all this. Gil wants to be behind something. This issue was a lot bigger than I thought, and I began to feel dizzy. Ugh. Yang flicked the money with his fingers. As if bored, the $10 bill landed on the table. An organization with power to produce counterfeit money in this town could be the Falzone, Visconti, and the Laoshu. Mafia Berlin would naturally be the prime suspects. Even though I'm Italian, I was born in America. Can't blame them for suspecting me. Oh! I didn't remember that. Yeah, he was born in America. But if you knew Berlin's, no, our situation, it's very clear. I would never do such a thing. Agreed. Damn, Yang. 100%. He's like, yeah. This enemy of mine. Leader of an enemy mafia group. He wouldn't do this. Huh? I couldn't understand at first, but after thinking for a moment, I finally figured it out. Because no one wants to do deals in a town known for counterfeiting money. If we can't make any deals, we'll lose money and power. Berlin's prosperous for now, but soon it'll turn into a ghost town. I'd never do something to pull up the roots of the town when we live off its harvest. Dante, Yang, neither of you are involved, right? You couldn't be that idiotic. What's more, I still can't figure out the motive of the real culprit sending out these counterfeits. I don't think it's to make money. Perhaps their aim is economic interference. But we're not in the middle of the war. You're right. Well, I guess we can catch them first and make them talk later. Damn, Gil, are you going to torture someone? Do I have to sit through that again? Can we not? What we need now is to not lose any more trust in this town. That said, how about a temporary partnership? It seemed like the others anticipated this, as no one looked surprised. Gil's eye burned with determination, and he spoke boldly. I'm going to clear my name. This is a matter of the Visconti's reputation. I'm going to find the culprit and make them pay for this. I'll never let someone who messes with this town get away.
Hearing that, the first person to speak up was Dante Falzone. I'm sure you understand. The Falzone is obviously uninvolved in this sort of low-class crime. It's like they were a puzzle, and each one knew what hole they fit in. Dante looked down coldly at the fake $10 bill. Those who threaten our name and Berlones cannot be forgiven. We must identify the culprit and eliminate them. However, we all have our predispositions. It would be unnecessary to challenge. It would be an unnecessary challenge to have our soldiers cooperate with one another. But we can each investigate our own and cooperate. We can each investigate on our own and cooperate by sharing the information we obtain. That much is doable.
Grazie, Dante. I had a feeling you'd say that.
Gil smiled, but Dante still looked grumpy. The Laoshu are the only ones left. Everyone naturally looked over at Yang. The door made a loud bang as it was kicked open and a young man jumped in.
I
need to speak with you. The Berlone Mafia, that is. Hey, look who it is! It's our last love interest that we just finished being in love with. I could feel the atmosphere shift to hostility and a clear sense of danger. Especially Yang. The color of his eyes changed, and he seemed a second away from standing up. However, the young man that arrived showed no sign of intimidation. You're... It's the last twink we picked. I mean, what? I must stay quiet. Speak to him. No. Stop. Speak to him. You're the man who saved me back then. I realized I had met him somewhere and immediately spoke to him. So you were safe after all. I'm so glad. I sighed with relief. The young man looked over at me. I could see his expression soften somewhat. I'm also glad to see you safe. I knew that you were staying with the Visconti, but I didn't think I'd be able to reunite. I didn't think I'd be able to reunite with you so soon. I did it. I said it. Huh? So you guys have met before. Yes, that night, he was the one who saved me. I see. So there really was a man who could hold his own against Dante and Yang. Besides me, that is. Gale looked at the man as if intrigued and seemed to relax. Just then, another person opened the doorway. Why are there so many people coming into this secret meeting? We truly apologize, everyone. Please forgive the disruption we caused. The person was dressed in elegant clothing, and on his face was a Venetian mask. Cause, you speak as if we aren't still in the middle of that disruption. Director, what has happened with your security? This seems like negligence on the casino's end. Director? Wait, he's the manager? Of this casino? Our customer insisted he must speak to everyone in attendance here. I tried to stop him, but he had already done away with all my security guards. This is all due to my lack of supervision. I truly apologize. It could not be helped. Here is a man who could have easily stood up against all of us. An ordinary security guard would be no match. Oh, Yang, why are you so happy? I know you want to fight Orlok again. But, like, keep it in your pants. Huh? The man who was silent until now took a step forward and began to speak. I'm Orlok, a disciple sent by the church. Orlok! Hey look, all my boyfriends are here. I came because I have business with you. Yeah, but he's got like a murder heart on, so... A disciple of the church. I see. A part of me wants to doubt his word, but... If he's going to lie just to deceive us, I think he'd use a more believable excuse. Right. Let's hear what this Orlok has to say, and then we'll decide from there. Director, leave the room. This is enough interference. Understood, Signor Falzo. Very well. Everyone, please continue your conversation. He gave a theatrical bow and left the room. The door was slowly closed once again. I have come to Boulogne under the orders from Bishop Rosberg and the church. Okay. The famous Bishop Rosberg? Bishop Joseph von Rosberg. He was a very famous minister in the governing position of the church. It is our duty as disciples to watch over the sacred site of this town and to protect the graves and relics therein. In other words, our role to ensure that the Falzone are behaving as they should. Huh? Sacred site? Protecting the grave? Despite their name being mentioned, the two members of the Falzone didn't bat an eye. This town is under the jurisdiction of the church. They do not appreciate Boulogne recent scandals. The dollar bill possesses a high value, and the distribution of counterfeit money may cause a global depression following the Crimean War to occur once again. Did someone see this in a prophecy? The church is hoping for a swift resolution. I understand the church is concerned, but sacred relics? Honey, you're being a brat. Stop it. Yang didn't seem to believe Orlok, and his golden eyes narrowed as if he were having fun. Orlok didn't back down and answered simply. This town is subject to extraterritorial something under the order of the church. Italian law is meaningless here. There is a tendency to overlook criminal activity run by certain organizations. Why has the mafia been exempt from justice? There's a clear reason behind that.
The Mafia of Berlin, in other words, the Falzone family, has a role watching over the sacred relic that lies in this land. Yeah. Orlok's like, listen, the Italian government is sniffing around. Y'all need to, like, fix it. Or else. Or else I'll fix it. Then, in order to protect the Falzone, the church put pressure on Italy. Yes. Orlok nodded, and Gil sighed wearily. Hard to believe as it is. It's not actually so hard to believe. Besides, looking at Dante and Nicola now confirms it all. I don't think he's a genius so much as someone was like, hey, go tell the Mafias this. And he was like, got it. Yes, sir. Gil seemed to share a history with them and could likely read their expressions. Signor Falzone stayed silent the whole time, with a serious look on his face. Signor Francesca maintained a peaceful smile and seemed unfazed by the situation. However, the church believes it may be too much of a responsibility for the Falzone to bear stewardship of the sacred relic. The Falzone have allowed a new organization to emerge and have stood by as this counterfeit money issue came into existence. The church are starting to think they don't need to protect the Falzone as they used to. Church is pressing X to doubt. So, this is a final warning from the church. Orlok continued indifferently. His words seemed rather cold as he continued. This incident must be resolved within the next 3 months, or the church will take back the sacred relic from Berlin. And if that happens, Berlin will obviously lose the backing of the church, and its that word will be lost. And this thriving town will just turn into another backwater countryside. The Berlin Mafia will just be a den of criminals being tried under Italian law, huh? Yang raised his hand slightly with a smirk. Orlok, we have allowed you to speak and understand your little story. That's cold, baby. I like it. However, before deciding on any action, there is one more thing I need to ask. Why did you interfere in the matters between me and the Falzone that night? Everything depends on your answer. Well, Orlok looked at me. Huh? It was to protect her. Damn. To protect me? You were said to be the key to the sacred relic of this land. You were the key maiden chosen by the stars. Huh? I couldn't grasp the words he was saying and could only stand there bewildered. Historically, the Falzone has looked after the key maiden to protect her. However, the church is reconsidering having the Falzone watch over their sacred relic. That's why you didn't side with Dante and allowed her to escape, huh?
I see. With a cold smile, Yang muttered in a skeptical tone. My word. What a grand story indeed. Holy relics, astrology, a chosen one. Yang, you're a brat. Wait, I still couldn't understand the truth that he revealed to us and spoke in a shaky voice. I have never heard anything about this. Please, if you believe I'm that person, please explain it to me so I can understand. Shut up. Yang! Be nice! Yang gave me a piercing glare and coolly dismissed me, despite my confusion. I have no interest in what happens to you, or the secrets that the church is protecting. But she is involved. Of course she has the right to know what's happening to her. Thank you, baby. Then save that conversation for another time. What meeting are we having here? There are other things we need to discuss. Das fair? Das fair? They silently glared at one another, and someone gave a small sigh. Not only did you reveal the existence of the sacred relic, but also the key maiden. Seems the church doesn't care what happens as a consequence, as long as they have an immediate solution to their issue. I was hoping he would dismiss or deny what Orlok had said. But his reaction was rather confirmation of Orlok's story. Am I really such a person? My confusion slowly turned to fear, and I could feel my fingers trembling. I'm being pulled into something beyond me. No, it seems I was pulled in a long time ago. Is the church really unconcerned that you exposed this much? At this rate, even if we were to resolve the counterfeit issue, another would begin. If it becomes a problem, simply take additional steps to ensure its concealment. What's more, this is urgent. If we do nothing, it could affect the world economy. So Yang, why did you attempt to abduct her? How much did the Laoshu uncover? A little bird told me that the Baozone was keeping watch over a woman at the church. That's all. I couldn't contain my curiosity regarding the circumstances, so I invited myself to look upon her precious face. He did it on a whim in this route. God damn. I know he's probably lying, but he did it on a whim is what he's presenting, and I love that for him. That's the only reason you decided to abduct her? Impulsive as usual. Who knew she'd end up being such a valuable catch? You were not allowed to kidnap me again. Indeed, something befitting of a fairy tale. Yang had a smirk on his face, but his eyes weren't laughing at all. Orlok, as usual, didn't seem fazed by any of this, silently looking back at Yang. You don't believe me? I couldn't be bothered with believing all of that. However, I do know that the church is serious. That's more than enough. I don't care to listen to the rest. Sir! Yang spoke coldly. Suddenly, his smile deepened. As thanks for telling me that captivating story, I suppose I can offer you a tale of my own. Oh my god, you guys, I need this meeting to be over. Huh? You are aware that the Lao Shu are backed by the Chinese mafia, the Li Huanghua. Oh my god. Water break. Li Huanghua. No, I'm not even going to try anymore. We're done. Lately, they have been behaving suspiciously. The Lao Shu has naturally exceeded the expectations in Berlin compared to our humble beginnings. However, the Li Huanghua have begun to send unwanted goods without my consent and demanding compensation. These goods are a new form of drug called red peony. It is highly addictive with far greater side effects than previously seen. If we continue to sell this, I will eventually lose ground. It must be tough to have a shitty upper management. Indeed. To top it off, they've been much more of a nuisance lately. The nature of this conversation was quite grave, but Yang continued as if he were having fun. Unfortunately, I cannot disobey them. We are merely an arm of the Li Huanghua. It seems like the Li Huanghua are driving you into a corner. Did you do something to provoke them? Absolutely accuse him. I would too. Your grin, sir. He leisurely tapped his pipe and deepened his smile, as if he knew something. Let me cut to the chase. I personally believe the Li Huanghua have something to do with the counterfeiting. Huh? Tension suddenly filled the room. Just as Falzone stated, the Li Huanghua are no doubt determined to cut off the Lao Shu. They will continue to maximize their exploitation before ultimately crushing us without warning. The Lao Shu are bringing in more than enough money. Even if I displease them, they have no choice but to look the other way. That means they found a way to obtain more money than what the Lao Shu would bring in. Perhaps satisfied by Nicola's deduction, Yang's smile grew wider. I have not caught them yet. But their movements are tied to the activities of Berlin Mafia. Surely they would know what would effectively weaken it. Where they obtain the information, I suspect they have ties to someone on the inside. Gil's brows furrowed, and he gave a bitter smile. So the Chinese are messing with the American dollars in Italy. Damn, this really is on a global scale. So what's the plan, Yang? Don't tell me you'll still be loyal to the Li Huanghua. Is that what you think? No. Gil smiled as if he already knew the answer, and Yang continued. I'm growing bored of the Li Huanghua. Complying with them disrupts my leisure time. I'm bored with the Chinese mafia. They ask too much of me. I just want to have fun. If they plan on betraying the Lao Shu, I will do the same. We are no longer theirs to control. He had a glow in his eyes. I have my eye on the home country and the Li Huangqiu. It may be fun to meddle in their affairs. Any fool who dares deceive me shall taste bitter regret. Damn, boy. You got big ambitions. I love that for you. Yeah. Girls just want to have smut, and the Chinese mafia keeps saying no. Yang's just like, I'm doing a good enough job. Why you guys mad at me? Then the Lao Shu will also assist in resolving the counterfeit money issue. It isn't for the church. It doesn't matter. Lang, fucking it. Yang of the Lao Shu, I have a message from His Excellency. I cannot provide any personal assistance. I see. More firm than I anticipated. Yang, what have you done? I simply presented him with an opportunity. Money in exchange for information about the church. You made such an offer to Bishop Rosberg? LOL. More firm. Yang's not used to being told no, okay? What were you thinking? A man who serves God wouldn't be tempted by a bribe. Sorry, but I don't believe in God. I can't understand any of that nonsense. Well, as long as Yang's willing to cooperate with us, we can work towards the same goal. Gil gave a warm smile and chimed in as if to mediate between the two. The Berlone Mafia needs a united front. If we all work together, no one can beat us. Our counterfeiter has nowhere to hide. The three families of the Berlone Mafia agreed to work with one another. Just when things were settling down. So, Nicola, what is it? When Orlok broke in earlier, you seemed unrattled. I could say the same for you, Dante. No one could ever guess what it takes to surprise you. No one could ever guess what takes you by surprise. You're going to explain yourself later. God damn it, Nicola. Of course. He sighed a bit, but his smile never left his face. He then turned to Gil. Gilbert, you heard what was said about the Key Maiden, right? She's important to the Foul Zone. It's our responsibility to protect her. She's too much for the Visconti. Return Pinker NeonNova to us. Excuse you? Return me to the Foul Zone? My mind still hadn't wrapped around all this. I still didn't understand what the Key Maiden was. The idea of going to live with the Foul Zone made me feel anxious and a little lonely. I can't give her to you. She's my guest. His expression looked serious, and he didn't look away. It seemed like he wouldn't give in. She's too much for him. Excuse you. Gilbert has the biggest arms in this room. Yeah. She's too much of a responsibility for you, Gilbert. Excuse you? What are you gonna do, Dante? Are you gonna lock me up in a tower again so that I can break out again? Or so that I can get kidnapped away from you again? And taken to Gilbert again? Just leave me with him. Bad things happen to me when I'm with Dante. I'm just saying. To be honest, the Valzone's mission has nothing to do. What's wrong with inviting a friend over to my place? I'll protect her. I get that you're concerned, but just trust me on that. They glared at one another for a moment, and then... Very well, but under one condition. That you make her safety top priority. A Valzone will be assigned to guard her. That is my condition for her to remain with Visconti. Sure, that's fine. If we're gonna cooperate with each other, might as well be civil about it. You don't mind, right, Pink? Right. Thank you for being so considerate, Signor Falzone. No need to call me Signor. Dante is fine. No, I'm gonna continue to call you Signor Falzone. The only man who I'm gonna call by his first name is Gil. And Oliver. That's it. What? You bear the same mission as I do as head of the Valzone. No, I don't. So I view you as my equal. Therefore, titles are unnecessary. Understood? Then would you do the same for me as well? No. I'm not even going to remember your name. For you? I'm in a lower position than Dante. If Dante says so, then I have to follow, right? I see. Alright then. Whatever your name is. I replied awkwardly and nodded, noticing a piercing glare from the other side. He's just smiling at me. He's trying to bother me. I hurried to speak. You don't have to. You can call me Yang as well, Pinker. Okay. No. No. Only Gil. I didn't make it in time. He said it in a seemingly kind tone, but I felt myself freeze. As for him, he seemed to get the response he wanted, and his smile grew as if he were having fun. I struggled to push through my mental block, knowing I couldn't stay silent forever. Well, it would be nice if you could all call me Pink then. It wouldn't be fair otherwise. I don't mind. Don't speak to me. Ugh. You can call me Signorna. Dante was quiet after what Nicholas said, but nodded, acknowledging my request. And so, the Rolone Mafia formed a coalition to resolve the counterfeit money issue. They had 3 months before the town would lose the church's support. If that happened, both the Mafia and the Burlone's prosperity would face a steep decline. That night, the future of Burlone was secretly tasked to the hands of the Mafia. And I didn't even get a goddamn CG. Okay. So we're going to call it there for tonight. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.